During the summer of 1941, Anna May Wong was another person of note that interacted with and was reported to actually have stayed for a weekend at Emily Hall Tremaine's house in Montecito, California. This was previewed in the Santa Barbara newspaper. What may surprise historians of Anna May Wong, as well as her fans, is that Emily Hall Tremaine, then known as Emily Spreckels, just earlier that year was all over the American newspapers for months. Emily was in the middle of a nasty divorce fight. She declared that her second husband of 1 year was a Nazi supporter. 3 months later, he fired back, "I'm not the Nazi, she is." The details around this nasty divorce case are previewed in the first podcast of this series. Note that Emily was the original it girl, a social leader, and often in the Southern California and national press since 1935. But by the summer of 1941, the public must have wondered, was Emily pro-Nazi or not? And one wonders what Anna May Wong thought of Emily. Here's the eyebrow-raising timeline of events prior to Anna May's presumed visit. In April 1941, Emily dismissed her divorce battle with her year-long second husband. This was the "he's a Nazi, no she is" divorce case. In early June 1941, the Santa Barbara Museum of Art opened. Emily was in the organizing committee. A portrait of Emily's first husband, Max, was hung in the museum. Max was deceased, and Emily's second husband accused Max of being pro-Nazi along with Emily. We were told that Max and Emily had met German Nazi officials, and this was true. This was reported all over America for weeks. In mid-July 1941, Society columnist Nancy Rudolph in the New York Daily News reported that Doris Duke and Barbara Hutton were in Santa Barbara, and Emily threw a large party in honor of them. We don't know who was at this party, and informal spies may have been there, as there was concern about the Nazi leanings of some around Doris Duke and Barbara Hutton, in addition to questions about Emily. The general concerns regarding Nazi support in higher society and business included financial support and business dealings of all sorts with Nazi Germany, as well as the transfer of business intelligence. With business intelligence, one could conceivably sabotage production for the Allied war effort, among many examples. American production was a key element for success in the First World War, and Nazi Germany was concerned about that. They wanted to disrupt it this time around. We're also told that Doris, Barbara, and Emily were childhood pals, perhaps at one time attending the same school or something. The following month, between 10 and 17 August 1941, US Naval Intelligence came to Santa Barbara, or rather the lady spy wife of a leader of that intelligence came to visit. Her name was Claire, a spy's wife, and her husband was the legendary Ellis M. Zacharias. Ellis testified in Washington about Nazi threats to the U.S. for some years, and he sent his information to J. Edgar Hoover, the FBI director in Washington, D.C. Claire visited for a week, staying in Emily's mother's estate nearby, and with Emily's sister, Jane, who also was a spy's wife. Jane's husband was working for the top intel chief, Zacharias. Claire visited Emily publicly, along with a few more suspected lady spies for the U.S. effort. Now on to Anna May Wong. Starting a week later, around the 21st of August, the announcements that Anna May Wong was coming to Santa Barbara on the 30th of August 1941 began. Emily, also at that time, was reported to be with her estranged second husband, Adolph B. Spreckels, Jr. This was about 4 months after their nasty divorce fight in court was dismissed. An AP wire photo was taken, and the estranged couple were photographed attending a play by Jewish producer David Selznick. Perhaps the choice was aimed to counter their accusations in divorce court that each other were Nazis. The following was included in the AP wire photo caption as published in the Philadelphia Inquirer. They appeared, quote, arm in arm. Each accused the other of Nazi sympathies during their divorce suit several months ago. The trial was climaxed by Mrs. Spreckels' request for dismissal of the suit, end quote. In the end, their performance seems to be fictional. They never reconciled, lived apart, and it took Emily 2 attempts in almost 4 years to finally get a divorce from him. Who knows why this happened? Perhaps it was to provide cover for Adolf, as Emily didn't need it. Maybe there was a cash offer, or not. This presumably fake photo op happened right at the start of the advanced promotion that celebrated Chinese-American actress Anna May Wong was coming to Santa Barbara. The Santa Barbara News Press reported that Anna May Wong will be the mistress of ceremonies at the Chinese Rice Bowl Victory Ball at the Montecito Country Club. As many know, Anna May was very active in supporting Chinese relief efforts at that time. This event was scheduled for Saturday, the 30th of August. The report continues. Anna May will be the guest of Emily Spreckels at her home on Hot Springs Road over the weekend and will be entertained by Emily at a large dinner before the dance. Additional reporting states that the dinner will be for 20 people, including the Los Angeles representative for United China Relief, who happens to be friendly with Barbara Hutton. It would be fascinating if we learned who went to this dinner. Many guests from Los Angeles are expected to attend the Chinese Relief event, including Barbara Hutton, Mrs. Fred Astaire, and Mary Pickford. All proceeds from the dance will go to the United China Relief, the report said. However, note that both Santa Barbara and Los Angeles Times reporting that was found all preview this relief benefit event. So there's no confirmation reporting any of this seen at this time. While we don't yet have confirmation, what's interesting is that this is all announced with Emily involved. So who gave all of this information to the journalists in Santa Barbara and Los Angeles, and did they check things? One assumes the source was the United China Relief Organization, or the Montecito Country Club hosting the event. But at this juncture, with Emily being the publicity queen, perhaps in a remarketing initiative, she was able to interject that solid creds Anna May Wong was staying at her house. You never know in publicity land. However, we'll assume that Anna May did stay the weekend at Emily's, which raises even more questions. Did Anna May think Emily was dodgy, or did she, or United China Relief, know that she wasn't? But even then, why would Anna May Wong agree to stay the weekend at the house of a woman publicly that was accused for weeks just months earlier? Couldn't someone have put her up at the neutral Biltmore Hotel? One really wonders, what did Anna May know that we don't? So when Emily was out of sight further away in the house, did Anna May turn into spy mode? Was she trying to fund the rubbed out swastika on the house's exterior that Adolf in court declared months earlier? Was that swastika indeed a reverse swastika and Indian, as Emily later declared? Did Anna May sneak in Emily's library to see if there was indeed a statue of Hitler in there? Did she try to find out where the secret rooms in the house were? Also, was there talk about Leni Riefenstahl, the German actress and filmmaker who visited Emily for 1 hour in late 1938 when Hollywood turned against Leni with the advance of Hitler's Nazi regime? Before Hitler took power, Anna May, in the center of the photo on the screen, was apparently friendly with Leni to the right while in Berlin. But Anna may have dropped contact with Leni by 1938, when Leni was in her very controversial visit to America, including Los Angeles. In any event, it does not seem a friendship developed between Anna May and Emily at this juncture. There seemed no other newspaper mentions of the two together, and there were no letters or cards regarding Anna May Wong in Emily's archive. Perhaps it was Emily, or was it Anna May Wong, that wasn't impressed. I'm Robert Priest at Art Design Cafe. If you like this audio, please like, share, and subscribe. If you have any documentation regarding this visit by Anna May Wong to Emily's house in Montecito, and you'd like to share it, I can be contacted at artdesigncafe@gmail.com. Thank you.